What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, Chrissyy Talks. Y'all can call me Chrissyy, and let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Tragedy occurred yesterday after 18-year-old Salvador Ramos walked into the Robb elementary school in Uvalde, Texas around 11:30 a.m. and barricaded himself inside the school with students from grades 2nd to 4th, ranging from ages 7 to 11, with a pistol and possibly a rifle. I want to get two things straight before I continue on with this video. The first being, the United States holds a world record for the most school shootings at a staggering and disappointing 288. Mexico following second with just 8 school shootings. Second thing that I want to mention is that yesterday's school shooting is the second most deadliest school shooting on the record, following Sandy Hook, which occurred almost 10 years ago, December 14, 2012. Sandy Hook's fatalities resulted in the deaths of 20 children and 6 adults. Yesterday's shooting resulted in the deaths of 19 children and 3 adults. Now, Salvador was an 18-year-old student from Uvalde High School, and it is said that Salvador actually legally purchased 2 AR-style rifles just 2 days before the shooting occurred and 6 days after his 18th birthday. It is also reported that before the shooting actually took place, Salvador allegedly shot his grandmother, and it was initially reported that his grandmother died, but it is believed now that she is in critical condition but still alive. Now, after Salvador shot his grandmother, he left the house and crashed his car outside of the school. He emerged with an assault weapon and barricaded himself inside the school. Now, again, this school was an elementary school and it taught students from 2nd to 4th grade, and the majority of the students that lost their lives yesterday were actually 4th graders and 10 years old. Now, there is no motive yet, or there has not been any motive released to the public yet, but there was a woman that came forth from Instagram with alleged messages between her and Salvador that possibly hinted toward this shooting before it took place. Now, for some reason, Salvador posted his guns on Instagram and tagged this woman that claimed she did not know him. So this was the photo that this woman was tagged in, and in the messages, Salvador says, "Hey, you're gonna repost my gun pics?" And she said, "What?" He replied to his previous message with a question mark, and she said, "What? What your guns gotta do with me?" He said, "Just wanted to tag you." She said, "I'm so confused." Then he sends her a screenshot of a message we can't see, but she says, "But why?" He says, "I don't know. Be grateful I tagged you." She said, "No, it's just scary for real." "How?" "I barely know you and you tagged me in picture with some guns." "Ugh, I guess." Then the night before, he says, "Hey, hello." Then the morning of, he says, "I'm about to." She says, "What? About to what?" "Good morning." He says, "I'll tell you before 11. And remember, he arrived at the school around 11:30 in the morning. He says, "Good morning." "Good morning. What?" "I'll text you in an hour." Okay. "But you have to respond. I got a little secret I want to tell you." She says, "I might be taking a nap because I'm really sick, but if I'm awake, I will." Then he says, "I'ma air out." And she says, "The only reason I responded to him was because I was afraid of him. I wish I stayed awake to at least try to convince him to not commit this crime. I didn't know. He's a stranger. I know nothing about him. He decided to tag me in his gun post. I'm so sorry for the victims and their family. I really don't know what to say." Somebody DM'd her and said, "People are saying you're his girlfriend and you're at the high school finishing it." And she said, "I don't know him and don't even live in Texas." Not only was this an eerie ass encounter with the shooter, but I can only imagine how she feels. Of course, as far as we know, there's really little that she could have done. It's crazy for her to think, well, if I didn't take a nap, maybe I could have stopped this whole tragedy. Maybe I could have tried to convince him. But as you can tell, it's clear as day that this was premeditated. He bought the rifles just 2 days before the shooting, shortly after his 18th birthday, and he posted this on Instagram, and literally the morning of tells this woman that he doesn't even know that he has a secret and he's about to air out. Now, let's piggyback off the fact that he's only 18 years old and he was able to purchase 2 rifles just shortly after his birthday. Now, to be honest, I'm not too familiar with politics and laws. I know it's bad, but honestly, it's as mentally exhausting to deal with American politics just like it is dealing with situations like this, because if American politics was where it should be, stuff like this would not happen. Based on the gun laws of Texas, it seems like there is leniency with being 18 years old and buying a gun. And according to my research, it actually says that it was a 2021 amendment made to the Texas government code that allowed 18-year-olds to buy a handgun. Again, this just happened in 2021. It changed from being able to buy a handgun at age 21 and lowered it down to 18. Mind you, I don't even understand how an amendment like this can take place when an event like Sandy Hook took place. You know, it's just not making any sense why they chose to lower the legal age to buy a handgun. But anyway, House Democrat Ruben Gallego made a tweet and he said, "Just to be clear, fuck you, Ted Cruz, you fucking baby killer." Now, somebody quoted Ted Cruz on new gun laws. Inevitably, when there's a murder of this kind, you see politicians try to politicize it. You see Democrats and a lot of folks in media whose immediate solution is to try to restrict the constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens. And Ruben Gallego said, "Fuck you, Ted Cruz, you care about a fetus, but you will let our children get slaughtered. Just get your ass to Cancun. You are useless. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, Ted Cruz is a Republican senator for Texas, and if you guys can't tell from the tweets, he does support having a gun. He does support your constitutional right of having a gun, and yeah, on the other side, he supports having abortion laws, which... Dan Rubin tweeted at Republican Senator of Arizona, Kirsten Sinema, who said, "We are horrified and heartbroken by the senseless tragedy unfolding at Robb Elementary School in Texas and grateful to the first responders for acting swiftly. No family should ever have to fear violence in their children's homes." Rubin said, "Please just stop. Unless you are willing to break the filibuster to actually pass sensible gun control measures, you might as well just say thoughts and prayers." Now again, I'm not too knowledgeable on politics, but I do know that gun law is definitely a problem in the United States. Our school shootings that occurred in the United States go back to 1800s, and we still hold the world's record for having the most school shootings. Our politics, our constitutional rights allowed this 18-year-old boy to have a gun and take the lives of 19 children who no longer have a future. There's really nothing else to say about this besides the fact that this was a horrific tragedy. And what really pisses me off about America and its politics is that we follow the politics of racist white people from hundreds of years ago. So when you really think about it, it does not make any sense to put in place laws from 17 whatever the fuck to 2022. And again, Sandy Hook happened back in 2012. There was no reason for that to have happened where 20 children lost their lives. And there's no reason for yesterday's shooting to have taken place either with 19 children who lost their lives. You have to really think about these parents as well. Like, they got their child ready to go to school, and you would never think in 100 years that, you know, you're getting your child dressed up for their last day on this earth. Also, sorry, I forgot to mention, when he got into the school, I believe there was security outside, but he did shoot the security down. And it wouldn't be for a border patrol officer who single-handedly went to the school and gunned down the gunman. Because I was thinking about where the school security was too, and I know in my high school we only had one. And no offense, he was overweight, and I felt like if there was actually a problem, if there was actually, you know, something going on in school, we would not have been that protected. Again, like I was saying, it just really doesn't make any sense to put laws from 1776 and apply them to today. And I really hate that ultimately our politics fall in the hands of other old white people that are racist. Not all of them, but there are people who hold powerful political positions that are racist, that are sexist, and they're putting forth laws that put black people in jail, that give access to more guns to people who really don't need them, and that restrict women's choices with their own bodies. Like, why is it that these people have power and they put forth their own personal beliefs in laws that govern the whole fucking country? Like, it's just tiring. It's just really way past tiring. And I can't even imagine how parents feel like having to walk by their empty child's room. You know what I'm saying? Like, today was supposed to be another day to get their kids ready for school, they get their kids ready for their future and for our future, and now their child is no longer there. Another scary thing about it is that honestly, I was almost desensitized to this, and it didn't even really hit me that a school shooting like this hasn't happened since Sandy Hook. And I remember Sandy Hook being very, very just tragic and crazy. And it didn't even hit me that this is coming right behind that. We didn't even have anything like this in almost 10 years. Like, it didn't really hit me until I seen the children's faces. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be my nephew. I'm about to actually pick my nephew up at his elementary school literally after I'm done recording this, and something could happen at his school, or shooting could happen at his school. Like, it's actually just very scary, and I can't give enough of myself, of my heart and my thoughts to the families who lost their children. I just want to help, you know, because I don't usually do videos like this, but I do want to step into true crime more. And I do feel like regardless, this should be talked about more. Like, there's really not much you could say about it when 19 kids who were just 10 years old lost their lives. But I do know for sure that we definitely need to take control of the gun laws here as a country, of the people who are putting those laws into place. Something's got to give regardless. Something's got to give, and America is not it. Like, it really is not. And you could have your feelings about race, about guns, about women, but for you to see the effects of these laws on our people and continue to think that it's okay to give 18-year-olds the rights to buy a gun because it's our constitutional right, it's just sick, y'all. It's really just fucking disappointing. I know that this is America, but we can't honestly use that excuse anymore. The whole, this is what it is. Like, this is what it's been. Like, in our reality, this is how it should not be. But y'all, that is the end of my video. I gotta go pick up my nephew up from his school. But again, my prayers and thoughts go to the families and everybody else. Honestly, everybody, because I know, like, we all felt that. I love and appreciate you guys. Please stay safe out there, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, guys.
See the God, see the God, see the God.